everybody, this is Texas Tiger Diggs, and I thought I'd create a short video on something that occurred to me today. I guess it should have occurred to me earlier, but everybody has their little lapses in judgments. But the Fisher F19 I have on this side, and of course the AT Pro on this side, the AT Pro on this side, are very, very, very similar. And a lot of people might be scratching their head and says, well, how can that be? Well, for one thing, I've been out with both a lot, and I love both, and I'm not replacing one with the other. And these are not the same machine, but they're very, very similar in how they do things. And they're so similar that, and all you Garrett people, don't jump me for this, the natural progression from the Garrett AT Pro potentially to the AT Gold as a prospecting and coin shooting machine might not be the progression that's most logical. The progression from the AT Pro, assuming you need to go to a machine, a high kilohertz machine, might just be the Fisher F19, a whole different vendor, two major competitors. And the progression might be from the AT Gold, if you want prospecting and high kilohertz, to the Fisher F19. Now I'm going to defend that position with the realization of this: these are two wholly different machines. I've had the AT Pro, the AT Gold. They're different than the Fisher F19, but the similarities are so, not identical, but are so similar between the two, particularly the AT Gold and the Fisher, with bits and pieces of the AT Pro, that this might be your natural step to a multi-purpose machine with the ability to do with high kilohertz return and the ability to do prospecting. So let me give a test here. So initially what I'm going to do is I'm going to show something that I didn't know, but I kept doing it. Doggone it, it's very similar. I'm going to do a test. I'm going to take a quarter, a nickel, a penny, and a dime, and I'm going to run it first past the AT Pro, and then I'm going to write down the numbers I get, and then I'm going to do the Fisher, and then I'm going to write down the numbers I get. You know, there's going to be some variances in there, but I think it's interesting. So I'm going to do that part of the test next. So give me just a second, I'll set up. Okay, I have moved the Fisher F19 to the side, and I'm just going to do a quick VDI or TID test with a quarter, nickel, dime, and penny. And I have a notebook here that I'm going to jot down the numbers, and then we're going to compare them between the two. All right, here we go. So I am switched on, so I'm going to take the quarter and drag it in front. I've shortened this up a little bit so I can actually see what I'm getting here. So here we do with a quarter. 85. So a quarter, 85. Then let's step down the denomination to a dime. With minor variations, and 80. Then we're going to step down the denomination again to a nickel. Here we go. $52. And then all the way down, I'm just going to use a regular old shield crappy zinc penny. Here we go. Doesn't really matter to what I'm using for purposes of this test. let's say about 74. Now I'm going to run this same series of coins passed with the Fisher F19. Alright, here we go. I'm going to do the same series of coins in the test with the Fisher F19. If you'll notice over here, I had to turn the gain down really low because it is a large coil. I'm using the nail hunter coil, but the coil won't change the VDI of the coins. And it's a 19 kilohertz machine, which makes it a little bit catchy, to say the least. Alright, so I'm going to go, and I'm going to take a quarter here. So quarter is going to be my first one. So I'm going to go here. I've got this pole shortened so I can actually see what I'm doing. There is a quarter is showing at, let's just call it 86. Alright, and I'm going to do a dime this time. Here we go. That's between 82 and 83. I'll go 82 and then I'll put a dash to 83. Alright, then I'm going to take a nickel. Let's just call that 57. And okay, now I'm going to go with the zinc penny. Let's jump it away, but we'll just take the middle and call it about a 75. We can go 74 through 76. Okay. Now we'll do a little analysis here, and I'll see if I can defend my position. So let me stop this, and I will. Okay, now if you want to go back and take a look at my tests and take a look at the displays and see if I'm telling the truth or to test it yourself, that's fine. But here we go. Here are the 0 to 99 scale breakdowns of these two devices. On the Garrett, a quarter reads 85. On the Fisher, 86. On the Garrett, the dime reads about an 80. On the Fisher, it reads between 82, 83, somewhere in that range. On a nickel, the Garrett shows it at about 52. On the Fisher F19, a nickel is 57. A penny, a zinc penny, on the Garrett is 74. A zinc penny on the Fisher is 74 to 76. So this brings up a good point, and this is what I'm trying to make. Okay, if you got an AT Pro and you go to an AT Gold, you gain a kilohertz rating that is about the same as the Fisher. I think it's 18 kilohertz, this is 19. What you lose with the AT Gold, though, is the ability to notch. You know, to notch out areas. Now, that might not be a major issue for you, and if you're doing gold prospecting, it's no issue. But it's a difference between these two, between the Garrett AT and Pro and the AT Gold, that is not different between the Garrett AT Pro and the Fisher F19. You will still have the ability to notch. In fact, the Fisher is a little bit more granular. In fact, you can notch on the 0 to 100 scale here, but you can only notch out sections or regions in the AT Pro. So the Fisher is a bit of an upgrade there. But so you learn one number scheme because they're virtually identical with minor variations between the Garrett and the Fisher. So what you have now is a coin shooter either side that you can use. Now the AT Go can be a coin shooter too. You just have your programs are not as adaptable. You cannot change notch, etc. on the AT Go. That doesn't mean it's not a great machine, but the Fisher is a little bit more adaptable. So if you're going to get your gold prospecting machine from your AT Pro, would you go get a pure gold prospecting machine with the ability to do coins? It has some settings, but you cannot alter their settings. You can only alter the low range and the iron discrimination on one of them. You cannot notch out. Now that doesn't mean you just can't say, if I see it here, I'm not going to dig it, but it's different. So that's what I'm saying. You know, the AT Pro to AT Gold is a bigger leap or change in functionality than the AT Pro to the Fisher F19. Now, all you Garrett purists, remember, I've got an AT Pro, I've got an AT Gold. The friend is boring, and I've got both of those. So don't think that I think that one replaces the other, and then because these are not the same machine. The Garrett and the Fisher feel different, they perform different, etc. But if you're going to the AT Pro to a gold prospecting machine, and you're going to change your vendors, and you're not going to go Garrett all the way, Fisher is a good way to go. You're going to have approximately the same definition of your major targets, the quarter, dime, nickel, and penny, and so that will equate to everything else on that scale within a certain range. There are some variations, but not a whole lot. So you're going to get a faster kilohertz machine. You're going to get gold prospecting capabilities with either. One's 18, one 19. I don't think 1 kilohertz makes a bit of difference. Well, negligible difference. But so it's something to think about. Now the Fisher F19 is, in some degree, if you want an upgrade, it is a slight upgrade to the AT Pro in functionality. Performance will be your own decision. But in functionality, you have a more granular 1 to 100 scale. You can notch on any digit you want. You have a variable tone break. You do have a custom here that does give you variable tones. They're just not configurable in that way on the AT Pro. So that's all I've got to say. I just want to say that, you know, just think about this conceptually, if not in actuality. Like I said, you Garrett purists, I've got Garrett's, so I'm not bad-mouthing you. You Fisher people, I'm not bad-mouthing you either. I love Fisher. I've had the Gold Bug. I've got this one. I've had this one. I've had the F5. I've had the whole range of things. I've had the Eurotech Pro, which is Technetics, which is Fisher, which is First Texas, which is Bounty Hunter, etc. So I've had that as well. So in any case, it's something I wanted to show you, and if you're interested, you do have some similarities here. If you ever want an Fisher F19 and you've got an AT Pro, the understanding you're gonna, your settings are gonna be different, your threshold, etc. Everything is gonna be a little bit different, but you're still gonna have that basic commonality of tones within a range, so you won't feel like you're going into a whole new thing. For instance, I like the Mind Labs. I never got the hang of the Mind Lab numbering scheme with the ferrous and the conductivity. Now that was my own fault. I just didn't adapt well to it. Doesn't mean I'm not going to do it in the future. But here you have machines that speak basically the same language, and the only thing you have different is a different kilohertz and different configuration. In any case, that's all I've got to say, and I will talk to you later. Tell me what you think about this. Like I said, I've got both. I've got Garrett's out the ear, and so I'm not saying that it's something you should do, but it's something interesting. It's one of those thought experiments. I'll talk to you later. You have a wonderful day.